Hey everyone, in this video, I'm going to show you how to organize your photos using ON1 Photo RAW 2019. Photo RAW is an incredibly fast image browser that allows you to find your photos quickly. If you want to browse for photos on your computer, simply head over to this left side of your screen here. In this left bar, you'll have different icons that will take you into different areas on your computer. If you want to know where they take you, just hover over them and it will tell you. If you're looking to browse through folders, head over to this folders pane here. This houses things like your local drives, where you'll have external hard drives, SD cards, basically anything that's mounted or plugged into your computer. This allows you to browse for photos where they're stored without actually importing them into anything. Let's say, however, you have an SD card that you want to import photos from. If you want to import photos, simply head up to the File menu and select Import. Inside of Import, we can choose where to import from this menu here. We can also deselect or select photos that we don't want or want imported. If we head over to the right side here, we have our destination pane. This allows us to choose where we want the photos to be imported into. Let's actually choose a different location. And let's create a new folder, and let's just name it Organizing. Below that, we can add a backup folder if we want a separate folder for these photos. In this rename pane, we can rename our photo. Let's just rename it Japanese Gardens. And then let's just add a serial number after that so we can keep track of them. And let's just start with 0. And below that, we have add metadata. So if we want to add any keywords or maybe an author to these photos, let's just add a keyword and we'll name it Japanese Gardens. Below that, we have photo settings. So if we want to apply a preset style to these photos, we can do that here. And then we have edit capture date. So if we shot a photo in a different time zone and we want to update that information, we can do that here. Once you have all of the settings you want applied, simply head down to Import. This will take you directly into the folder where it's importing the photos. If you want to check on the progress, there's a progress bar down here. All of the importing is done in the background, so you can still view, manage, and edit your photos, all while the photos are importing. Let's make these thumbnail previews a little bit smaller with this bar down here. And a great way to stay organized within Photo RAW is to create subfolders. To create a subfolder, simply grab the photos that you want, and then you can just right-click, and you can add a subfolder. Let's just name this HDR brackets. Now it'll move all of those photos into a subfolder that I can access easily. Another great way to organize is you can just drag and drop. So if you have these photos here and maybe you want to put them into a different place on your hard drive, you could find that area on your hard drive, and then you could just drag them over and drop them where you want to. We can also rate and cull our photos. So if we go back into this organizing folder here, and let's grab this photo, and let's go into the film strip view by hitting F on our keyboard. Now there's a couple different ways you can rate your photos. If you hover over the photo, you'll have these different ratings that you can pick from. You can choose to rate it between 1 and 5 stars, or you can use these different color ratings here, or you can simply like or dislike. I like to use my keyboard, so if I want to rate this a 5-star photo, all I have to do is hit the 5 on my keyboard. You'll notice that once I gave that photo a rating, it automatically advanced me to the next photo. You can turn that on or off by heading up to the top bar and going into Photo and selecting Auto Advance. So now if we turn this off and we rate this photo, it'll stay on that photo and it won't advance to the next one. Let's go back and turn that back on. Now if we go through and rate a few of these photos, and a quick way to cull these photos is to head back into the grid view by hitting G on your keyboard, and now head down to this sorting menu here. And let's just turn on rating, and then let's select descending. Now we have all of the 5-star photos on top, and then the lower rated ones are on the bottom. So now if we want to remove these photos, we can just click on them, and we can either right-click and select delete, or we can just simply hit delete on our keyboard. And now we've removed those photos and organized that folder a little bit. You can also compare photos. So if you have a group of similar looking shots, you can just click on them, and then you can head into compare view mode. Now that I have lock, pan, and zoom selected, I can just zoom in, and now I can compare the different photos. And if I want to remove one, I can just hit the slash key on my keyboard. Let's head back into the thumbnail view mode by hitting G on our keyboard. And another way you can stay organized is you can create a catalog folder. And if you want to create a catalog folder, simply find the folder that you want, and then you can right click and you can select Add to Catalog Folders. You'll notice that it added that HDR brackets folder into this catalog folder section. Catalog folders create a small media cache with the preview files for those photos. This makes it easier to load those folders, so it's great for your favorite or most used photos, kind of like your portfolio photos. If you want to learn more about catalog folders, simply refer to the user guide. And you can find the user guide by heading up to your help menu here and selecting ON1 Photo Raw 2019 Online Help. Another great way to stay organized in Photo Raw is to create albums. To create an album, head over to your Albums pane and click on this plus icon. You can create an album where you can drag and drop photos into. Or you can create a smart album. This allows you to search through your catalog folders based on criteria that you put into this smart album. If you want to learn more about smart albums, refer to the user guide. You can also view metadata and browse keywords. So if you have a photo selected and you want to view its metadata, you can click here and this will show you all of the metadata for that photo. You can also browse through all of the keywords that you've ever used on any photo. You can search for them, and if you want to remove or edit, just simply right click and you can remove, edit, or delete. And if you want to search for photos, you can head down to this filters pane here. And now you can search for photos with a name. You can use different criteria such as ISO, focal length, aperture, whatever it may be, and it'll find your photos. Those are a few ways to stay organized and find your photos using ON1 Photo Raw 2019.